Hello, good morning. Welcome guys to the 3D market commentary for today. Today is June 14th. It's a Monday, so happy Monday to you guys. Hopefully you had a good weekend. So my name is Becky. I know my head is in the way of my name there and my email address, but my email address is becky@tradictive.com, so hopefully easy to remember. Now let's just cover the disclaimers whilst we're here. Should be being highlighted there. Disclaimers, obviously legally important for you guys to read, but also to understand. These videos that we do are demonstrations of the way that we think, of the way that we use our technology. You don't have to use it, you can ignore us, you can take it on board, do anything that you want, ultimately it's up to you. Okay, so there's this link on the screen that I just want to take you to, which is tradewithufos.com/Becky. Let me just take you there, if I can bring it up, she says. There we go. So if you go to this link, you'll be able to fill this in and get yourself a free Trade with UFOs membership if you don't have it already. You can also book one-on-one coaching with me if you'd like, but to me the most important bit here is once you've had your free Trade with UFOs membership, once you have it, then you can come here and you can ask a question in a public area. The reason that's good is because if you have a question, perhaps somebody else also has that question. So rather than email, which of course you're welcome to do, and then the questions are kind of kept private and the answers are kept private, if you ask the question here, then we answer it here as well. So it's all public for everybody to see the answers and the questions. So if you scroll down, these are questions people have already asked and the answers that are attached. So it may be that the question you have is already here. It may be that the question that you have is new, in which case you're doing somebody else that favor later down the line. So tradewithufos.com/Becky. Get yourself a free Trade with UFOs membership at the top there. Just fill that in and follow the steps. And then you can come down and ask a question there publicly. Okay, so what do we do this 3D market commentary for? Here we go. So that's our 3D approach on our 3D market commentary, which is an email that we send out every day. I'm just going to go through that email and expand on it and explain where we got that information from, where we got that data from, so that it makes a little bit more sense and you guys understand where we get this from and how we think about the markets. So first things first, 3D approach, what does that mean? It means we're looking at three separate elements. So first things first is, what's the upcoming market direction? And by the way, we're looking at 5 major world markets on this market commentary, so we'll look at these 3 elements for each of those markets. So where's the upcoming market direction? Up or down? Should we go long or short, buy or sell? Sometimes there's not enough probability either way and we do nothing. So ultimately we need to be able to answer that question. Now we use our Auto Climate app, which is this app here, to answer that question for us. Now ignore the lines for now, just focus on the dots that we have down here. Those dots tell us where the probability lies. If it's a thick blue dot, like that one, then we have probability upwards. We should be looking to buy. If it's a thick red dot, like this one, then we have probability downwards and we should be looking to sell. If it's a thin dot of either color, say this one or this one, not enough probabilities either way, we do nothing. So we use technology to answer that question for us. Now, by the way, AutoClimate is a free app. You can download it for free on most of the platforms that it's available on, and you can use it to help you answer that question. Should you be long or short? Should you buy or sell? Now, in terms of if we're buying and if we're selling, the question then is, where do we buy or sell? At what price do we buy or sell? That's why we use another app for our entries and exits. That's what these little UFOs are called. Well, this was what these little UFOs are for. So we have red ones and green ones. The green ones, for example this one, they show us where we should be buying because it tells us where we have unfilled orders. That's what UFO stands for here, unfilled orders. Basically it shows us where there's lots of buying going on, and it tells us on the right hand side what the prices are, so specifically telling us exactly where we should buy or sell. With our red UFOs, these show us exactly where we have sell orders, where there's selling going on, where we should be looking to sell as well. So we use an app to tell us exactly where those buy and sell orders are to help us decide exactly where to buy and sell. And then we're going to look at market volatility. How quickly are these markets moving and what's the associated risk and reward? So we'll do that per market. We're starting off with the S&P. Now we're looking at the ES here, so you might notice that we're looking at futures contracts for each of these markets. So essentially we are looking at representations of these markets to keep it nice and consistent across all of the asset classes. Now we are looking at the S&P 500 here, which is the top 500 US stocks. Essentially, we are looking at a representation of the US stock market. That's what we're seeing here. So with this, we see market climate, confirmed upwards climate, thick blue dot here, probability upwards. That means we should be looking to buy. Now, saying that, usually this market goes up for 8.79 candles. So I'm going to round that up to 9 candles. Normally goes up for 9 candles in a row before it would change direction. We're currently on candle number 16 to the upside, which means we have gone past by quite a bit what is normal, what is more likely to happen on this market. So we still have probability upwards. This is not to say that it's going to change today or tomorrow. It's just saying that the further we go past what is usual, the less likely it is to happen, of course. So we still have probabilities upwards, not as much as we would like to, but still overall probability up here. Now with buy and sell UFOs, we don't have any sell orders, but we do have buy orders here at 41.85 to 41.42.50 or 0.5. So these are where we have our closest buy orders. So overall, probability upwards there with the S&P. Climate is upwards and we have buy orders beneath us, so pushing price upwards. Again, gone slightly over what we would expect in terms of movement to the upside, so bear that in mind, but still overall probabilities upwards. With market volatility, we would expect that in 1 year, the S&P would move up or down 15.90%, which means in 1 day, up or down of 42.48 points, in a week, up or down of 93.52 points, and in a month, up or down of 194.67 points. So that gives you an idea of how far it's likely to move within these given periods of time. Of course, none of this is exact. It's all based on statistics and probabilities. It's what's more likely to happen, not what's guaranteed to happen. So we still manage our risk just in case. Overall, though, currently still probability to the upside with the S&P. Okay, next market, which is oil. In the meantime, it says here about looking to educate yourself in the different courses that we do, so you can check out those courses. Now the cool thing, you'll probably see there the types of courses that we do: futures, stocks, forex, backtesting, trading plans and psychology. Most of them come with 3-month complimentary access to the apps. So AutoClimate is a free app anyway, but AutoUFOs, depending on which platform you use, has a different cost. So on TradingView, for example, on the one that we're looking at here, that's $34 per month. Now our courses, some of them are a one-off fee of $34 or a one-off fee of $89. So if you do the maths on that, if you pay the one-off fee and get 3-month complimentary access to the UFOs, you get cheaper access to the UFOs overall. So hopefully that makes sense for you mathematically then. Okay, so oil, let's take a look at this. Same situation, confirmed upwards climate, thick blue dot, probability upwards. We have gone past what is usual. This market usually goes up for 6.46 candles. I'm going to round that up to 7, and we're on candle number 14. So we've gone twice as far as what we would usually expect this market to go with, which means still probability upwards, but the further it goes past what's normal, the less likely it is to keep happening. So we're kind of lacking a bit of probability when it comes to that. In terms of buy and sell UFOs, no sell orders again on oil, but we do have buy orders here, 70.65 to 68.87. So again, overall probabilities here with crude oil. Probability upwards in the climate, buy orders just beneath us pushing price up. Overall, not as many probabilities as we'd like because we have gone past what's usual on our sustainability stats, but still overall probability upwards there for oil. Now in terms of volatility on oil, we would expect in 1 year that it would move up or down of 32.55%, which means in a day, up or down of 1.46 points, in a week, up or down of 3.22 points, and in a month, up or down of 6.71 points. So that is oil. Now moving on to the next market, which is gold. I was just reading that, AutoUFOs. It's gold. We've already talked about the UFOs. You can get them on TradingView, TradeStation and MetaTrader. Depending on which platform you use depends on the cost, but check those out on our website. Again, you can get them for free for 3 months with most of our courses. Okay, so gold. We have a confirmed downwards climate. Probability downwards, thick red dot there. Now, usually this market goes down for 6.29 candles. Again, I'm rounding that up to 7. And we're on candle number 1. Which tells us we have probability of a continuous move down based on what usually happens. Now, what could get in the way of that is we have buy orders just here. So these buy orders are 1847.1 to 1808.4. We would expect if price hits buy orders that it would be pushed up from there, that it would go up. So at the moment we have sell orders coming in from the climate and buy orders coming in from the UFOs. So kind of fighting each other at the moment. We'll have to see who wins there. For the time being, the overall probability is down with the climate, but like I said, things could change at this UFO, so I would kind of keep away, to be honest. Sell orders here at 1962.5 to 1938.4. Again, overall here we've kind of got a fight between those two orders. I would wait and see what happens once we hit this stack of buy orders and see where we go from there before jumping on whichever wins, to be honest. Market volatility, we would expect in 1 year movement up or down of 15.21%, which means in a day up or down of 17.8 points, in a week up or down of 39.18 points, and in 1 month up or down of 81.57 points. So that's gold. Let's just say here, coaching and support. We offer coaching and support obviously for free on YouTube and Facebook, so you can follow us there. We also have a closed coaching community for $21 per month in order to have access to more of our time in a closed environment. So either way you have the same content, it's just you have more of that content in a closed environment if you're part of the closed coaching community. So either way you're getting the same information, just more or less of it depending on how you access it. So if you're interested in that, you can check that out. Otherwise you can follow us on YouTube and Facebook. Okay, next market, which is the US dollar. US dollar is responsible for about 80% of transactions worldwide every day, so we should be aware of it. Even if you don't trade it, it will be impacting all of those other markets and then some. So let me just scroll that up again so it's less distracting there. There we go. So we have a confirmed upwards climate on the dollar. Thick blue dot, probability upwards. Usually the dollar goes up for 4.65 candles. Let's round that up to 5, and we're on candle number 1. So probability again of a continuous move up. However, based on the UFOs, we're very, very close, right? We've got buy orders just below us, sell orders just above us. These sell orders that we have here, 90.91 to 90.575, these have already worked once at this place. Price came in and got pushed down from there. That's what we expect sell orders to do, is push price down. Price has come in again and been pushed down just a little bit from there. So we have sell orders pushing price down, but we have buy orders just here, 90.275 to 89.83. So again, we would expect that if price were to come down and hit that, it would be pushed up. Same as this UFO just beneath it has worked many times to push price up. Price came in here, hit the UFO, went up from there, came back down, hit the UFO, went up, came back down, hit the UFO, went up, came back down, hit the UFO, went up, back down, and up. This is what we expect UFOs to do. Buy orders push price upwards, sell orders push price downwards, which is why we want to know exactly where those prices are, so that we know exactly when to get in or out. So these buy orders have already worked loads of times to push price up. We also have sell orders that are already working to push price down. So at the moment, again, two different forces playing against each other. Climate to the upside, which is helpful, and buy orders should mean the two of those together should beat the sell orders. But overall, it's kind of like a 2 against 1 situation. So yes, we're likely to see the buy orders win here, but it depends how strong those sell orders are. Overall probability upwards here for the US dollar, but just be aware of those sell orders in the way. Now, market volatility. We would expect in 1 year movement up or down of 5.59%, which means in 1 day up or down of 0.32 points, in a week up or down of 0.7 points, and in 1 month up or down of 1.46 points. So that is the US dollar. Now let's move on to the last market, which is backed Bitcoin. So to check this out, there we go, backed Bitcoin. I'm just going to squidge it down there a little bit. With backed Bitcoin, we have an unconfirmed climate, which means we have a thin dot here. A little bit hard to see, but we have a thin dot. That tells us unconfirmed. Not enough probability either way to call it. Now that's kind of not surprising considering we saw Bitcoin drop quite significantly, came back a bit and then dropped quite significantly again. But recently it's not really been doing much. It's kind of been going sideways, which tells us that there's not a definitive direction going on at the moment with Bitcoin. Now we do have buy orders here at 33,785 to 31,000 even, and we have sell orders here 51,782.5 to 46,807.5. So overall we're kind of in the middle there, slightly closer to the buy orders but kind of in the middle, and we have an unconfirmed climate when it comes to the climate. So overall indecision there on Bitcoin. Now in terms of volatility, we would expect movement in 1 year, a bit more volatile than the others, of 102.11%, which means in 1 day movement up or down of 2,517.13, in a week 5,541.2 up or down, and in a month movement up or down of 11,534.94. So overall with Bitcoin, can't call it, not enough decision either way. So those are our 5 markets. Let's now just come down here and have a quick look at the economic calendar. So we look at the FX Street economic calendar. This is where we get this information from, and we filter by high impact news. Not because we care what the news is, but because if there's going to be high impact news reports coming out, it's likely to increase volatility. So it gives us an idea of that. You may choose to avoid volatility entirely and avoid the markets that have high impact news coming out. You could be attracted towards volatility and be specifically trading the ones that are volatile, or something in between, depending on how you see it. But at least you know from this economic calendar which markets are likely to see high impact. For example, today we have the British pound in about 15 minutes or so, and the Aussie dollar as well later on today, that may see some movement. So keep an eye on those if you trade them, likely to have high impact news affecting them at some point today. If you have any questions about the apps, the memberships that we do, the coaching, what's going to be better for you, do you need to do this, do you need to do that, I want the apps, I didn't really want to take a course, but it sounds like it's cheaper to do a course, so if I'm going to do a course I might as well do one that's helpful for me. How do I know that? You can self-schedule a clarification call here, speak to one of our experts and figure that out. Any other questions, you can email me, becky@tradictive.com, or there is, as I showed you right at the start here, tradewithufos.com/Becky. You can get yourself a free Trade with UFOs membership here. You can book one-on-one coaching with me if you'd like, and you can come down here and ask a question in a public space so other people see the question and the answer. If you need me, get in touch with me, guys. Otherwise, hope you have a great trading day ahead. I'll be back on Thursday. My colleague Boyan will be taking it tomorrow and Wednesday, so I'll be back on Thursday for the market commentary then. Have a good week, and I will see you